Well, sorry about the first video I put up with epidemic, but my volume was off, so today I'll get right into the nuts and bolts of this. So these safe injection sites, you see, they're really running the dope themselves, the governments. You see, they bring in the drugs from over in Afghanistan and stuff, where they have their soldiers are forced to guard poppy fields with guns, and one guy even had to pay back a local drug lord because he burned his poppy fields down because he hated the drugs so much, but his commanding officer made him pay the guy back with his paycheck for the opium that he burned. So you see, the government's actually running the drugs, and now with these safe injection sites, they're just letting their clients freely inject drugs at your taxpayers' expense. You see, you're the one paying for it from your work for these people who are so addicted to use these hard drugs, and at your expense. It comes out of your money. That's where it all comes from, all of it. And you're the one giving them a disability check or a welfare check that you just go out and party with. Most of these really addicted. Not all people who are on disability, I'm on disability, will do this, but people who are, easy to use drugs will do it. People that use hard drugs, and these social workers and things that are working in these safe injection sites, well, they're not going to say, oh, this is a bad idea, because they're getting paid like $30 an hour to stand there, and the nurses and things are getting paid $30-40 an hour. But if you think about it, we don't have enough nurses and doctors to go around to sit there and let these people use these hard drugs in these sites. You see, people say, oh, it saves lives, but you know what? I still find needles all over the ground in my neighborhood and cooking spoons laying on the steps in the morning, and when these sites are closed, these people just do the drugs anywhere they want. And the thing is the cops can't do their job. The cops can't go arrest them because they're protected. You see, they can't bust the dealers. They can't do anything because they have these safe sites where they can just walk in, sit down with a bag of hard drugs and a cooking spoon and cook it up and stick it in their arm if they want to. And then they give them free needles and they walk out the door, and free cooking spoons, and they go use drugs in your public parks and leave the needles on the ground where the kids play. And the kids get the AIDS and the hepatitis and everything from the drugs because these people just leave their needles lying around and they don't care. I found hundreds of needles on the ground out front of our building, and they don't care. Some of the drugs still in them, we have little babies and stuff running around here, and they don't care, and the government doesn't care, and the social workers don't care, so long as they get paid. And the people who are selling the drugs, they don't care as long as they get rich and get cars and houses and things. And it's the new world order behind it, population control. And I'll tell you, they get you so addicted to these drugs that they're selling, and they use the money for black operations for like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and stuff like that, and funding killing people over in the Middle East and taking over small countries and things. It's always been that way since the CIA running cocaine in the 1980s, So now they're running heroin and opioids and fentanyl and everything else, and then they go, oh, we're going to do something about it. Well, they never do, It just keeps going on and on and on, but it goes out of your tax dollars and for all these other things, and it's just enabling the people to get high. That's all it is, and you have to be aware of that, that you're just being used as a pawn in the game, and so is your tax dollars. So just so you know, man, it's all just a setup. You're just a guinea pig sitting there in a cage.